the Global Fight League had their inaugural draft Friday night. On the call, like I said, they had Brendan Schaub, they had Robin Black, they had Mike Goldberg, they had friend of the show Alex Wendeling. They had all the fighters get drafted. Six teams, Angel. We found out afterwards they're all operated by the GFL. This draft was not real. The picks were already done, but they went through with it anyway. And we're going to run through some of these teams. Team Miami, Angel, Junior Dos Santos, Robelis Despenier, Thiago Santos, Joe Romero, Hector Lombard, Jeremy Stevens at lightweight, Anthony Pettis, Marlon Moraes at bantamweight, Maria Agapova, is Paige Van Zandt, PVZ. Then you got Brazil, Bruno Capoloza.
You said that was Team Miami?
That was Team Miami.
That's a pretty stacked squad.
Yeah, we got team.
Until you talk about Marlon Moraes.
No, right?
Sorry, dude.
Team Brazil, Bruno Capoloza, Fabricio Verdum, Antonio Carlos Jr., Shogun Hua, Diego Lima, Alex Cowboy Oliveira, Patricia Pitbull, some of the other names, Javier Sunsao, Renan Barao. Move on to London. You guys get the idea by now. I mean, just a bunch of washed names. Tanner Bowe's not washed, actually.
Yeah.
The only guy who from this entire fucking league who might not be washed. Alexander Gustafsson, though, Ilir Latifi, Gegard Mousasi, Norman Park, Danny Roberts, Benson Henderson, Mike Grundy, Piani Gadzad, Julia Budd. We move on to New York City. This is the one where a lot of people were like, okay, this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Alexi Oleinik, Alan Belcher, OSP, Devin Clark, Chris Weidman, who retired last week, is with the GFL now. Okay? Don't worry, though, because we got Phil Hawes. We have Dillon Danis. Thank God Dillon fucking Danis is in this. Oh, man, that was my biggest complaint.
It's crazy he got drafted.
Kevin Lee. Kai Kamaka, actually a good name. Lance Palmer, actually a good name. Right? Jimmy Rivera, Liana Jajua, Holly Holm, you know? Team Dubai, Luke Rockhold, Derek Brunton, Omar Akhmadov, Todd Duffy, Tyron Woodley, who was the first overall pick. First overall pick, Tyron Woodley.
I will say this team is kind of insane. This might be the best team.
Oh, I agree with you. Tafik Mosasvayev, Demir Ismagulov, those two they're just going to run through that fucking league. To me, Timur Valiev is another good pick as well. Arlene Blenko has some stuff left, I think. Jessica Aguilar is pretty washed, but I still think she's a, kind of a pioneer, so I don't want to be too mean.
Yeah.
Rough streak as of late, though. But, I mean, and then the final team is Team LA. This is the one. We have Andrei Arlovsky, Frank Mir, Rashad Evans, who did not even enter the draft, will not be fighting for the GFL. Uriah Hall, Lorenz Larkin, Tony Ferguson, Sage Northcutt, Chad Mendez, Uriah Faber, Ray Borg, and then you have names like Aspen Ladd, Cynthia Calvillo, Emily McFarland, and Corey.
It's weird. I feel like some of these people drafted really well, and then they had some picks that I'm like, I don't know why you picked this person up. No hate.
I don't know why we're like watching Frank Mir fight in 2025. And I mean, no offense to Frank Mir.
I mean, Frank Mir wants to fight, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I'm kind of torn on this because, like, here's the issue. Okay, here's the thing, right? I'm not as hard on the old fighter aspect. I'm totally actually cool with that. Like, I think they should have some younger names in there. I think they went too all in on the old guy aspect. The old guy fights are not my biggest issue. It's that draft going all in on the AI. Like, Tyron Woodley is like an AI Avenger. Like,
dude, everybody was in AI.
Yeah, literally.
I don't lie. Some of them did go kind of hard, in my opinion. I will admit it. Like, some of them I liked. I'll say it.
What, did you like the AI song though? The AI.
No, I didn't even listen to that shit.
Oh man, yeah, dude, class.
By the way, did you see the first overall? Like, who were the top picks? Like, did you?
Dude, I just said it. Tyron Woodley was the first overall pick.
No. I know that, but how did you feel about all the guys that went first for their teams?
Oh, let me pull it up the exact draft. I don't want to fuck.
I see it. I have it.
Okay, yeah.
I can tell you, Dubai went first. They had Woodley. LA went second. They picked Sage. Third was London. Gegard, probably I think he was the best pick in the first round. Miami was JDS. Sao Paulo was Verdum, and New York was Kevin Lee, which I'd say was another big pick. I still think the best. I think, dude, those first picks sound like first round picks. I will say the Sage one's a little fine. Sage one's pretty out there, but I gotta say, like, damn, London with the W pick. I mean, Gegard from Sasha. I mean, I thought he was the best guy in the whole draft.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, man, this is just look. I think as far as first overall picks, those are all good. For me, though, I think honestly the issue is that like none of this shit is real. Like, none of this shit is real, man. Like, it's all bullshit. Like they draft all these are their own draft. Like that's Darren Owen and the guy owning the company. It's just weird. Like, am I the only one? Like it's just weird that they're acting like this is a real draft and all this shit. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it is odd that they're like cutting them down into. But I do want to believe that maybe they did sit down. They were like, all right, we'll draft the teams, but they drafted a Bahor. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to reach out to maybe they've sent me press emails. I may reach out to them for an interview. I mean, I got a lot of questions.
I'm sure you know this, but you know a lot of the like in the NBA and the NFL, like a lot of draft picks are kind of already done way before.
Yeah. But like
guys know they're. I mean, granted, stuff happens on draft night.
Yeah,
teams change. They're like, you know something? We're not gonna go this way anymore.
From my understanding, though, like the Cain Velasquez and Luke Barnett and Vanderlei Silva and the guys who were actually supposed to be coaching these teams and managing them, they had no process, no part in picking these people. And they could just trade them back and forth. So to me, the team aspect's really weird. And like, here's the thing. I'll give them credit. I appreciate that they're trying to do something new. And I watched Darren Owens' interview on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Actually, it's not technically MMA Hour, but you know what I mean? Like,
I know, what is it now?
It's just the Ariel Helwani show or something.
What the fuck?
Whatever. Same studio, same shit. I don't care. But like, I saw him on there and like I actually thought he was a pretty well spoken guy. Like he seemed relatively like aware of like the fact that if you're in the US, you have to do something different. PFL is just UFC light, you know? But whenever they go to places like Dubai, they show like, oh shit, we're doing something a little bit different here. Like we're getting a new audience involved. They love this shit. They're trying to do something new in the way of adding in teams. And the IFL back in the day actually wasn't hated as a product. It was just kind of and they didn't have the money. I think the same shit's going to happen here. The GFL, the rumor is, and a lot of these names are older and they don't have to pay them this much, but they're paying a lot of these older names like a lot of money.
Allegedly. I mean, we don't know for a
But
fact.
I've heard on very, very good sources that they are paying a former UFC champion. So that limits it to essentially Junior Dos Santos, Andrei Arlovski, Frank Mir.
You know,
heavyweight former UFC.
But that's other guys that were drafted.
And Fabricio Verdum.
I forgot how many former UFC champs. There was like some stat that came out that it was how many former UFC fighters, and then how many former UFC challengers, and then it was how many former UFC champions.
Yeah. Well, here's okay. I'm just saying this is a guy that isn't going to be fighting for them. Is going to be fighting for them. A former UFC heavyweight.
So it has to be a guy who's drafted.
It's one of these four guys. It's either JDS, Fabricio Verdum, Andrei Arlovski, or Frank Mir will be making $1.4 million to fight for the GFL.
It's probably JDS. I have to assume.
That's my assumption. He's the one that still has the most juice by far. But I don't know, man. Like the presentation was just horrific, and like they had like in Goldie up there, they had like a perfect cast of characters too for this draft to make like the crazy.
Who knows? Maybe Luke is getting the bag, dude.
It was it was Goldie, it was Schaub, and it was Robin Black, like the trifecta of just like.
Dude, what if Chris Weidman's the one getting the bag?
I think Chris Weidman's getting it back. He has to be for getting to sign up for this shit. But like,
and he said he's still going to be on the UFC broadcast. Did you hear that?
Yeah. My question is who's funding this? That's my question. I bet it's some like Middle East type shit. I think I said this to you like off air like a few weeks back, but like that's my assumption. I think it's probably some Middle East backer or Dubai who's just throwing money into MMA. They don't really give a shit, you know, or somebody else. But like, yeah, I mean, I just don't see why this thing lasts, man. With the rumored payouts and everything, it's like...
Hey, it'll be 1 year of fun, though, with old guy fights.
Maybe we'll get 1 year. My bet is, I don't even know if we'll get an event. Because the way they did that AI shit, it's like,
you think it get shut... Was it ever... I mean, what was it? Affliction? It shut like halfway through the year at some point?
Yeah. Well, Affliction, I think they technically ran for like 2 years, but they only held like 2 events. So they had like 1 event a year. And then they were going to run their 3rd event, and they just canceled it. They canceled it and never held any more. Because they didn't have the money.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to see this through, and then within a year it's gone, you know, or whatever.
Yeah. 47th president actually involved with the Affliction. Fun fact, you know, part owner. Yeah. Business genius bankrupted Affliction a year. Just gonna say.
The only thing that went with wrong with Affliction was they just paid way too much.
They paid way too much money. And
I think the numbers actually came out for that, right?
Correct. This was back before the UFC successfully lobbied to get all the numbers hidden, so that way fans could feel good about themselves watching MMA events. Affliction was paying money like boxing. Fedor. This was 2008, by the way. Let's keep in mind this is 2008. This is not the current, current rate. Okay, Fedor Emelianenko, $300,000 for no win bonus. Arlovski to get knocked out by Fedor, $1.5 million. Josh Barnett, the co-main event, $500,000. Vitor Belfort, about $300,000. Matt Lindland, $225,000. Hanato Sabaral, he got about $150,000. This is all 2008 prices. Little Nog got $180,000 to fight Vladimir Shenko, who made $50,000. Some of these are Paul Buentello made $110,000 on the undercard.
Some of these guys got the fucking bag.
Yeah, dude. Some of these are just, they paid $3.3 million on their payroll for their first card. That was the second card I was telling you. Dude, Arlovsky made out like a fucking bandit. This guy had made $750,000 to show and $250,000 to win in his first Affliction fight. So I think Global Fight League is going to go the way of Affliction. There's a good concept here, maybe not good, but like they're trying to do something new, and I appreciate that. But if the rumor payouts are real, then this league is going to last 3 minutes. So
hey, if they only make it to one card though, that's gonna be one really good fucking
it's gonna be
card.
One fun event. I'm